Hello, 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 dreamers, and welcome back to PERLA'S DREAMS, Pisces, Aries, Cusp. This is your reading, and again, guys, these are general readings, so only take whatever resonates, and please leave the rest. Um, no, that's what I keep on hearing. Like, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you. Um, there may be an offer of some sorts, like somebody's offering you something, somebody's coming to you with something. For a lot of you, this is an apology and you're like somebody's like presenting, like, their apology, like, oh, here, like, I'm sorry. You're just like, no, thank you. Like, you're shoving it back in their hand. Like, the minute that the apology or whatever is coming out of their mouth, you're like, no, thank you. If this is an advancement when it comes to like somebody that's telling you they're interested in you, like romantically or whatever, you're like, oh, yeah, no, thank you. You're being very polite about it. I feel that you're really not wanting to hurt somebody's feeling, but you're also being very firm in the sense of like, no, thank you. So normally, let's put it this way, you'll be like, sorry, no, and it's like, sorry, it is almost kind of like an incline of like a little bit of regret, or like, I wish I could, or if I could, I would. But you're saying like, no, thank you, like, no and thank you, like, it's nice that you thought about me, but no, I'm not interested. And it is as I'm saying that, I'm like, yo, you're being very cocky this month, Pisces, Aries. Which is nice, because I mean, to be honest with you, like, I feel like you definitely need to lean a little bit more into like this, like this fiery energy of yourself. I feel that sometimes you really tend to kind of dim yourself a little bit, right? The way that I'm looking at it is like literally using your own water, like from the Pisces, right, to dim the fire within you. um and you're finally getting to this place where you're no longer doing that. So there seems to be this beautiful game of, or this beautiful dance of balance between that fire and water and elements within you, where you're not allowing the water, right, like this emotional aspect, or this part of you. And I don't want to, like, yes, it comes through like as an emotion, but it also comes through as this, like, you, and again, bear with me as I'm describing this, because again, this is what is being shown. um and for those of you that this is your message, this is your message. If it's not, it's not. There is almost kind of like this element where you use the water aspect, right? And I'm going to use this analogy because I have the candle and I have the water, where you will use your own water aspect of yourself to dim the light within you. When you feel like you're shining too much, when you feel like you're being too loud, when you feel like you're getting too much attention, when you feel like you're surpassing someone, you yourself dim yourself. And that dance is almost feels like the water, right? That water has always has been winning, right? It has been dimming the fire, and it's been almost kind of like drowning, right? And now that fiery aspect of you is coming out, and it's like, no, 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 like, try and put me out, and you'll see what's gonna happen. So there was this time within you where there was this battling back and forth, but right now the energy that I'm picking up within these next 2 to 3 weeks is this nice and calm balance. Like, okay, let's let there seems to be this harmony happening between these two signs inside of you that are almost kind of like equally balanced, right? There may be some times where the fiery aspect is showing up a little bit more, and certain times with the water, but it's like it's balanced. It's not one trying to take over the other. And because of this, you're able to reject any offers coming from anywhere, whether it's romantically, whether it's financially, whether it is career, whatever. It doesn't matter where it's coming from. You're able to reject. And I want to use the word reject because I feel that for some of you, that word in itself is like something that is like a taboo or like a no-no, right? Like, how dare you reject, or I'm sorry. I'm hearing like, I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Okay. So I know you guys must think I'm crazy because the things that I be hearing in my head sometimes when I'm doing these videos, I just have to laugh. So, anyways, you're able to reject anything that you feel is not in alignment with you. Any offerings, anything that you feel like, even if you can't pinpoint why an offer is not in alignment with you, you're still rejecting it. So this balancing that is happening with you during this time is really allowing you to really use your voice, is really allowing you to really speak up for yourself. Now, I have to say this because I feel that a year from now or something like that, or a year ago is what I should say, a year ago or something like that, you were really in a place where your emotions were kind of all over the place. And it may have been this sense where you may have been told by like doctors or whatever that you were depressed, or whatever it was. And I am not here to dismiss any type of mental health conditions or anything like that. I myself was diagnosed with clinical depression when I was a teenager, and then PTSD, and then it ended up being something completely different that masked itself as something else, right? For those of you that do follow, I was diagnosed with narcolepsy, with cataplexy, which it is really, to be honest, it's a blessing in disguise, because it's allowed me to connect a lot of the things that I've been able to do, and the way that I'm able to connect in certain realms has a lot to do with that, because of where I spend, because of the way that my brain is wired and it works, right? But anyways, what I'm trying to say is like a lot of this energy that made you feel very depressed, and that made you feel like you had to suppress a part of you or whatever, like something was just wasn't clicking, had a lot to do with the fact that you were kind of like suppressing or hiding a part of yourself, either because of the way that people were going to view you, or because it wasn't going to be accepted or whatever. Regardless of whatever the reason is, it's like the moment that you decided to accept you and that aspect of you in its entirely, the moment that the feeling of depression or the episodes of depression started to shift. So let's say, like, I know somebody that was in a really depressive state a few months ago, and I was like, okay, so what do you think? Where do you think that this is coming from? And she goes ahead and she's like, I feel like I need to eat better. I feel like I need to exercise. I feel like and then these were all things that her own spirit was telling her that it needed in order to function. It needed in order to feel alive. And because she was neglecting those aspects of herself, she was not working out, she wasn't watching what she was eating, and all of this other stuff. And I'm not saying that this person is fat or anything like that. That is irrelevant. What I'm trying to say is that the moment that this person started, and yes, this person went to therapy, spoke to a therapist, and all of this, didn't go on medication, but did speak to a therapist. And the moment that she started to listen to her spirit and started to follow what her spirit was guiding her in regards to her, right? Like what time she should be getting up, how she should be working out, what she should be eating, all of this stuff. When she did that, she started to see a change within her depression, right? Because she started to acknowledge and she started to listen to that part of herself. And now, like I want to say it was like either yesterday or a few days ago, we were talking, and I was like, well, she was feeling like she was feeling down or whatever. And I'm like, well, what do you think it's in regards to? And she's like, well, the past few days I've really been kind of slacking with my workouts, with my eating. So this is something like her spirit, the minute that she falls off of what her physical body needs, right, to survive in this world, to thrive, to live in this world, the moment that her body, that her spirit notices that something is missing, it brings it up to her attention, but it comes up almost kind of like a sort of like depression, if that makes sense. Now again, I am not saying that is everyone's case. I am not saying that to dismiss anything. Personally, when I am not giving my body what it needs, my spirit will let me know in a heartbeat. And it comes in a way that I do not like it. It comes in physical discomfort. It comes in body pain. I break out everywhere. Like if I am eating something that my spirit is like, your body does not need that right now, regardless of whatever it is, and I try to eat it, my body's gonna pay for it. Right? If my body, if my spirit is like, you know what, Perla, your body needs movement, this type of movement. Like if my body's asking me to dance and I decide I want to run a 3 mile, guess what? Those are gonna be the 3 longest mile of my life. I should have danced. And the same way, if my body's telling me like, hey, we need to go for a run today, and I decide that I'm gonna dance, I'm not gonna get into the rhythm. I'm not gonna get it because my body's asking me to run, right? And these are the subtle things that a lot of you have been working into connecting with, that a lot of you have really been working on the last year. It's like really getting in tune with your own body, your own spirit, to so that you can be the best version of yourself, so that you can live your through like your authentic self, if that makes sense. All right, so let's go ahead and let's pull out some tarot. There's a lot of swords. We have the King of Swords with the Knight of Swords. The King of Swords is in the reverse, as you can see. This is a very old deck, like very old deck. This deck is like 30 years old. We have the Two of Swords with the King of Pentacles in the reverse, and then we have the Seven and the Ninth of Swords. And there seems to be this sense of like, again, I feel like when you were trying to fight this part of yourself, and I'm gonna say it like this because this is the way this is coming out. There's an aspect or a side of you that is like, look at me. Like, I want to be seen. I want to be heard. I want to be acknowledged. And there's nothing wrong with that, all right? Okay? But for some reason, along the way, someone told you that it was wrong to command or want that type of attention, right? I say that everything in moderation is good. Not everything, but 99% of the things are good in moderation. There are certain things that are definitely like, you should stay away from. But for everybody, that's different, right? But when there is an excessiveness of something, is where the issue becomes, right? So if you want to be seen for something, if you want to be heard for something, if your spirit is leading you to take a certain position where you are seen or viewed or heard or whatever in a certain way, there's nothing wrong with you following that. The issue becomes, there's kind of like this issue where, again, with everything in life, I feel like there is this very fine line where something can be balanced or it becomes unbalanced very quickly, right? So, like, and again, this is just an example. There are people that, let's say, we'll use alcohol as an example. There are people that, we're going to use alcoholics, right, where they cannot have one drink because then they cannot stop, right? Or they were, and I'm going to use that as an extreme, right? Because not all alcoholics drinks every day. Sometimes alcoholics, they plan their week around the drinking, right? Like they plan their life around drinking, right? So it's not necessarily that you need to drink every day. And then you have somebody that can have a drink and go 6, 7, 8 months, a year, 2 years without ever touching it again, right? But they don't deprive themselves of wanting that drink when they want it. And it's almost kind of like those aspects of yourself that can be quote unquote seen negative. And I'm going to put it that way because that's the sense that I'm picking up. Like you perceive wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard as something negative. Or maybe somebody told you that it was like a negative trait of you or something like that, right? And because of that, you're kind of like the alcoholic where you're just now like completely avoiding it. Like I'm not even going near it because I know I'm going to want more of it. And what I'm trying to tell you, I'm not telling anybody to be an alcoholic. What I'm trying to say is like, you need to kind of stop looking at that aspect of yourself or that part of yourself as an addiction or as something negative, right? you need, and I feel that for some of you, that is where you are at this moment in time, where you are allowing yourself to experiment a lot more within yourself, that you are allowing yourself to have that fiery aspect of yourself come up more. Because the more that you fought this, the more that you try to suppress it, the more that you try to deny this part of yourself, the more that it felt that you were drowning, like in your own life. The more depressed you felt, the more disconnected from the world you felt. um and again, I know that sometimes my examples are not really there, like sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. I don't know why I had to bring the alcoholic thing into play, but it did. But it's almost kind of like, it is okay, it is okay for you to be seen, it is okay for you to be heard, it is okay for you um to be to be noticed, or whatever it is. There's something, everybody, everyone in this planet, everybody in this earth brings something. We are all an echo of something, and what we say, what we do, will echo to those that are walking behind us, or those that are coming behind us. And we all have something to give. And I feel that when you shut yourself off from that, you're not just doing a disservice to you, but you're also doing a disservice for those who you are the one making a path for, right? So we're using the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck as your closing message. We have the Spring, which talks about see your seeds grow, right? And this is pretty much what is happening with you guys. I feel that all the work that you did on yourself, all that work, that all that time that you took to really get to know yourself, to really get to a place where you found, or you're finding this balance within yourself, right? Between these two aspects of yourself, these two energies. And now you're reaping those rewards, or you're being told to get ready to reap those rewards. Embrace the change that is on the horizon. Allow your dreams to become reality. And for a lot of you, this is a very simple dream of just being seen, or being heard, or um having a voice, using your voice, etc. And it is something that you should be very proud of yourself for doing the work, and for allowing yourself to show up the way that your soul, your spirit wants to show up in this lifetime. Well, guys, that is all that I have for you at this moment in time. As always, thank you for your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and do so. We would love to have you. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Mwah. Bye-bye.